we do have Trevor Motshegoa, founder and director of My Pops and I organization, an organization that aims to bring awareness to men's issues and sharing a positive light on a good male role model. Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor is in the building. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, and yourself?
Ah, fantastic, man. It's always good, always good. Yes, man. It's lovely to have you here. Eh? It's a lovely energy, and I was looking forward to actually seeing you and asking you a few questions of my own. Actually, eh?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure and honor to be here with you guys.
Nah, definitely, man.
Thank you.
Definitely, man. This is the morning show, and right. Let's just dive into it. What made you? First of all, where do you come from?
Originally, I'm from Soweto. Yeah, born, bred Soweto, but I moved around a bit. You know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that was my tender age life. I was around. I grew up in Alex, actually.
Oh, in
I did
Alex.
My primary.
Oh, okay,
in Alex,
okay.
just
Oh, that's lovely.
stone throw.
So you're a
away.
city boy, eh?
So
City
yeah,
boy.
Yeah.
Joburg.
I've been in the city all my life, man.
Ah, that's dope, hey.
Yeah.
So what made you get into? I mean, what made you start the organization?
Okay, where do I begin? Well, firstly, I was inspired by there's this sitcom called My Wife and Kids.
Yes.
Yes. So
way back in the day.
Way back in the days. So I was just chilling there, looking at this guy being a dope dad, you know, and then I compared that to the community that I grew up in. I was like, man, we don't have that kind of dude, you know. So that's when this whole thing was born, you know, to say, man, young as I was, I thought to myself, I want to be a dope dad, you know.
Even if you didn't have children.
And even if I didn't even have a dad then, because my dad was never part of my life. But when I saw that, I thought to myself, man, I want to be a dope dad.
That's dope, eh? Very inspiring.
Yeah. So that's where the whole thing was.
Are you a dad?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, lovely. Hey, so it came to light. You're a good dad.
Oh, you're dope dad. That's a good.
Yeah,
dad.
you're a dope dad. That is the question. Yes.
Well, you know what? I think being a dad is not really a destination, but a journey. So you become.
That's true, eh?
You know, you can be a dope dad today, and not such a dope dad tomorrow. So it's really about becoming and being aware, you know, and being aware of what needs to be done as a dad, and learning, you know, because like I said, you know, we come from communities where majority of us grew up without our dads.
Exactly.
So most of the things that we know about fatherhood are things that we picked up.
All right, that's great, man. So, what is the aim of the organization, My Pops and I?
So the aim of My Pops and I really is about creating a platform, you know, a platform where we can bring together men, you know, fathers that have done it and guys that grew up with their dads.
Okay, yes.
Together with guys that that grew up without their dads, you know, so we can just all sit down and learn from each other.
So what do you do? Like workshops? How does it work?
So basically what we do is we have seminars. So we have seminars where we invite, you know, seniors that have been in the game longer than we've been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we also...
And then we're speaking about fatherhood, of course.
Oh, yeah, all the way. Fatherhood and also other issues that are connected to fatherhood.
So these are the people on the panel. And then obviously you got a lot of young men in there and you're educating them. What are some of the points that you actually talk to them about, you know?
Okay, I think the one that's very important to me would be mental health.
That's good, man.
Yeah, because
We are big on mental health on this show.
Yeah, I think we're not giving too much time and investment to that topic, you know, because at the end of the day, that's I look at it as mental health is the beginning and the end of a human being.
True.
Because everything starts there.
Definitely,
You know,
yes.
our behavior, how we react to things, it all starts there. So if we can't get that right, then
That's the problem.
Yeah, everything falls.
Wow, man. Nah, definitely. So, what is the core element? I'm sure you guys talk about how to build good mental health and how to, you know.
Yes. So like I said, you know, mental health is the most important fundamental of everything that we do. So we invite professionals in that space to come shed light as to, how to basically be aware of your mind and how that affects you to making the decisions that we do.
Wow, that's brilliant, man. Hey, man, you're doing such a great job out there, man. I won't lie. When did my pops and I start, though?
My pops and I started 4 years ago. Formally,
Hey,
4 years ago.
That's huge, eh? That's a long time, my brother.
Yeah, man. We've been on the ground, man.
You've been saving fathers, eh?
I've been trying to save them because we're formally a registered non-profit company 4 years ago.
Okay.
But even before then, we've been on the ground, just...
Yeah, because that's what's important. The ground is where the work is,
Definitely.
Besides it being formalized and everything, but the help is what is needed, actually.
Yeah.
In the community and stuff like that. So what other community? Do you go to community or...
So basically what we do is, we get the communities involved with our seminars, and we also do events for fathers and their kids.
Oh, lovely stuff.
So
what kind of events are there? Is it like bowling or what?
different kind of activities.
Oh, okay.
Where we get so the activities are tailor made to get both the father and the kids involved. So we try to refrain from doing events where the kids are that side and then the fathers are that side.
Oh, okay. Yes, the bond must be there.
So you want them to both have the experience on the day.
Wow, that's amazing, hey? No, that's fine. So once you get the communities together and you guys host a workshop, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So how many cities have you been in this?
We've only been in Joburg. We've only done events in Joburg. We're supposed to do something outside of Joburg, and that was a month, actually weeks before COVID happened. So that was 2 years ago. So the past 2 years have
2 years.
Yeah,
man, everybody's put a hold on everything.
Bro, it's been mental, but we're still here.
You say you've been running for 4 years.
Yes.
How has the response from most of fathers been in that 4 years? Has there been a positive response?
It's definitely been positive, and with a whole lot of things that we learned, So obviously with the line of work that we do, we're not in the work. It's what we do is not something that's popular. It's not popular because we guys don't want to talk about these things.
Hey, it's man, man being man, bro. I'm like, no, me, I'm a man.
I always ask you guys. Yeah.
So I've become that guy. When I walk in the room, men will be like,
here's this gentleman.
There he is.
This one's gonna want us to talk about things that we don't want to talk about, I've somewhat become that. So in every space that I'm in, I evoke those conversations with guys, and you'd be surprised that guys actually do want to talk. It's just a matter of us creating the platform.
Yeah, that is true. Hey, that is very much true. So, how does your organization tackle those different social ills we face from day to day? As men.
Okay, so obviously it's all about creating the awareness.
Okay.
Creating the awareness and highlighting the importance of really, because if you really think about it, right? I mean, you sitting there, you had to invest your time to crafting the skill to do what you do.
Yes.
So same as being a dad, especially for guys that grew up around a space where they never saw it happen before their eyes. So it's very important that we invest in understanding and learning about how to become this thing that is foreign to us.
Exactly, yes.
Because, I mean, just like me, like I said, I watched my wife and kids, and that was a dope thing. So I had this infatuation that this thing is going to be a perfect ride.
Yes, already in your head it was right.
And then you get into it, and then, the dynamics are different now.
It's tough.
Know what I mean?
It's tough.
So it's very important to invest in material and articles that will help you understand the topic better.
Yeah, I'm sure how do the dads receive this type of information, considering, like we said, we are men. When you talk about these things and say, guys, look here, you need to engage in this, and this is how it's going to be. How's the response?
The response has been very positive. The response has been very positive. because like I said, guys actually need these kind of platforms. They just don't know where to get them. So when we create that safe space and that space where we can all just talk and learn from each other, then it becomes better, because yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should apply the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Okay.
When we are in those seminars.
Yes.
But I can tell you that, it's also a learning, it's also a learning journey for me as well, So I get to learn from my peers, I get to learn from people that have done it. I get to learn from the professionals in the space, So yeah, the reception has been very positive, and
Exactly.
yeah, that's what has been keeping us going.
No, that is fine. The time is 10:30, and this is Bogart Radio. As we continue with the conversation, my brother, how do men deal with this issue of saying, I'm a man, I can't talk, or whatever you're going to say, I know how to raise my children, and you can't tell me how to raise them? Do you ever face such things?
I think the approach is never that, to say we want to tell you what to do and how to do it, because we all come from different backgrounds, different experiences, different cultures,
Yes.
So it's very important to never come from a point of saying, or from the point of knowing it all. We don't know it all.
No,
You know?
exactly. Yes.
We don't know
yes.
it all. So the aim is just to create a platform where we can learn and correct each other, because we're living in different times now. I'll tell you one thing. I come from
That's true, eh?
I come from a culture where, or an era where the ATM fatherhood was the thing.
Yeah, man.
Fathers were never emotionally and physically available.
They used to be the man.
Yeah, I get
I'm
that.
a man, yes.
As long as I've given you money for the nappies and the shoes and the whatnot, I've provided and I'm done. That's my duty.
Yes, and then it's
know,
done.
that-
Then the woman has to deal with all the emotions.
You know what I mean? So that's the era that where I come from. So now we're living in a time where, things like your emotions and your mental stability is required now. So the generation that we're in now requires us to apply ourselves differently. So it's just not
That's true.
it's just not the finances that raise kids, but you being present and also you being intentional about wanting to be a dad.
Yes, exactly.
So
So what does it mean to be a dad in a whole?
like I said,
Answer it like a dad.
Yes.
I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I think for me being present is way more important,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, being aware, of what's happening around you.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're discussing off air. Like even a father can be at home all the times, but doesn't talk to the child.
Yes, I mean we've got instances where the dad is forever physically there, but emotionally and
He's not.
he's not there, So it becomes confusing to the kids, especially us guys, to say, now when I become a dad, what kind of a dad am I gonna be?
Yeah.
Am I also gonna be the dad that just sits there and never says anything because I'm providing financially? So those are the kind of dynamics we get into.
Yeah, like you said, if you just buy the nappies, I'm done.
Yeah.
And yes, he has to be there, physically. So how would you define the kind of impact you are working working to achieve with My Pop and I? Obviously, building on to the goal that you're setting.
Yeah.
And the legacy that you want to leave behind.
Okay, I think the whole image of a man and a dad in our society has been diminished. So what we're trying to do is rebuild that, rebuild our trust to the society, because a lot has happened in the past years.
A lot, eh?
So I think it's very important that we as men, just intentionally come together and look at where we've went wrong.
Yes, exactly.
And try come up with solutions ourselves. Internally.
That's the way for you.
Yeah.
I support that definitely.
Yeah, because obviously when when the solutions come from the external, it's, as guys, you'd know, it kind of feel like an attack.
Yes, exactly.
So I think we should initiate these conversations ourselves, and most importantly, hold each other accountable.
Yeah, in a safe space.
Yeah.
That's the most
In
important.
a safe space.
You mentioned obviously your reference to being a better dad to my wife and kids, and one of our topics for today was gender roles. Do you think as men or as society we've boxed each other into a certain criteria, into a certain category of what a man should be? Obviously, in comparison to my father, to my wife and kids, Damien is a very different dad to what dads have become these days,
Yeah.
So are we boxed in by the gender roles that's been provided by society to be a specific dad, to be an ATM dad, to be a non-present dad, non-emotional dad?
Yeah, I mean, I think historically and culturally, those are the environments that we grew up in. So we grew up and adopted that as our norm. And now we're moving into a different time where it's not just about washing dishes and cooking. There's more to being active as a dad than just being an ATM dad, or there's more to being a mom than just changing nappies and cooking and all of that. So the dynamics have changed. So if we do not adapt and relearn, then we smoked.
Hey, yeah, definitely. Hey, it's gonna be a terrible one. But I feel like the new generation that's coming on, obviously, that we are breeding. I think it's gonna be very, very much aware of what's going on. Because we are trying to voice out a lot. And I've seen a lot of dads these days. They're not just like NTM dads or dads that just sit down. Like a lot. I've seen like a lot that are there. Even if they're not part, they don't even live together.
Yeah.
You see them calling and trying to do activities.
Yeah, and that is dope to see, actually. That is very dope to see. But I'm also of the opinion that, if, like you say, if we don't set it up, if we don't take action and try to correct it now, then we are to blame, because we would have continued this vicious cycle of dysfunctional dads.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
actually seen, like what you were saying earlier about ATM dads in my own in my family, right? Where my dad, God rest his soul, my dad was a present dad. My dad wanted to be a dad. He was very much invested in what's going on, where are you going to school, who are your friends, what are you doing with your friends. But one of my family members had a dad who was like that. He had all the money in the world, but he was just never there. And whenever we'd meet up as kids, and I'm sharing stories, we did this with my dad, or we went wherever with my dad, they'd be like, but mine was, that must be so cool. And to me, it was strange, because like, what do you mean? You live with your father. He's here. He's got money. He can afford. My dad does this for me once a month because that's
you
what
don't
he
have
can
money.
afford it. Your dad has money to do this anytime. How come? Dude, my dad doesn't even know whether I passed or not. My dad doesn't even know what time I go to school. My mom is the one that knows all of these things. If I have a problem, my mom is the one I go to, because this guy is just not there. He's here. I see him every day. We talk every day. But
He
I
just
feel
knows.
like he's a stranger to me. It's like I'm talking to some guy from the neighborhood who likes sleeping over at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is difficult, hey, in such times sometimes when you even try to explain to that person, like, but your dad is like this, but your dad is like this, then they don't understand,
Yeah.
Obviously, speaking into like the legacy that has to be, that your organization is trying to leave behind, what are some of the words that you would give out to the young dads, and also the young men as well, who are to become dads?
I think to young men, please don't make kids. Don't have kids. Just
Okay,
yet.
just leave it.
Yeah, just yet.
That's the okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I think, man, I think many of the youth don't know the responsibilities that comes with being a dad.
Yeah, definitely they don't.
Because you thinking that being a dad is buying nappies and buying formula, but there's more to that. There's more to that, because if you're still a kid yourself, what are you gonna teach your kid?
Yes, exactly.
And most importantly, you don't even invest in learning about being a dad.
Yes. Which leads me to my next question, where I wanted to ask you actually, is there a particular time that age where dad should be, or it's mostly just, do you guys discuss such things in you?
Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. And really, you can't really put a time frame to it. But it's very important to know exactly what it is that you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because like I said, and what we've discussed, being a dad does not necessarily, because you can't have enough money and think that I'm gonna be a dope dad.
No, definitely.
Because being a father requires a whole lot of things: your time, your money.
Exactly.
But everything else works together to raise good kids. It's just not the money alone, or the time alone, or the knowledge as well. The wisdom that comes with it. Because what leaving a legacy for me is leaving that wisdom with them that they can carry on with.
No, definitely, man. As we're moving on, talking all things good dads, becoming dope dads. We do have a few comments that just came in.
Definitely. So, I have quite a few, but I'm going to read one from a female, one from a male. So I put out a blast, and a female said, the question was, what defines gender roles, is what I asked. And she said, nothing. There shouldn't be. It just has to be about preference and discussing with your partner, which feeds into what we were saying earlier about communication, right? And then she further explained that for her, personally, a man must spoil her. Rob's favorite hashtag indoda must.
Yeah.
A man must spoil me, he must love me, he must provide for me, he must protect me. She says that she loves traditional roles except for when they don't serve her as a woman. She's not ashamed to be feminine in the relationship. However, due to history, women have been oppressed by these said gender roles, right? And then another one from a guy, he says, well, he feels that these roles are critically important for the balance of the world, and he also feels that they are clearly defined and set by nature. However,
Yes,
we
definitely.
as society are the ones that have added morals and norms to them, and we've sort of put meat on them in that regard. So yeah.
Okay,
But
hence
here's
it
another
gets
interesting
lost.
thing, right? We were talking about this earlier. Jub also feeds into this conversation. Why? Because now he's trending right now as we speak. Because
But was he a good dad, that guy? Is that a good dad from his
that's
story?
the thing. If you watched the interview on the other podcast show, the popular one, right? He was basically saying how he hasn't been allowed to be a father to his child, and he was even reading
he's
messages
trying.
and texts between him and the mother of his child to say, I'm trying to see my kid, even after he left prison. So what about, I'm curious about that mostly from you, Trevor, to say, what about dads who want to be dads? Because society, what you're saying, that it has diminished the roles of fathers. But what about fathers who want to be present, and we, the females, are the ones that are saying, no, I don't like you anymore, or whatever the case may be? What about that?
Yeah, sure. That's another one, eh?
It's another beast, no?
That's another one, because I think we're yet to really sit down and have these conversations properly. It's actually such a huge. Hence, I said earlier on that we are more agenda driven than truth driven.
Exactly.
We've
Yes.
become that society. We my opinion is correct, and that's what it is. So I think we just need to recreate the culture where we just sit down and have honest conversations, because such things can be avoided easily.
Yeah, very much easily.
Such things can be avoided easily, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so crazy now that we live in a world of social media where instead of just sitting down and talking about our issues,
You want to go post?
we want to use platforms to be talking about such sensitive issues, because I think the biggest concern for me is that there are kids involved here.
Yes, that's true.
Yes,
So
that's
this is
the number one.
This is the kind of content that kids will be exposed to. What impact does to a child, mentally, emotionally? We don't think about those things, but it's all about, I want to make my point and I want to be right.
Yeah, that's what it is most of the times, eh?
Yeah.
Which is very bad, man.
It's
Like, if I see a lot of people, like, they it's about hatred, like, because I hate you.
Yeah.
Your hatred covers, I mean, it overcomes the protection for the child or what the child needs, But I'm sure there's a lot of mothers out there who also need counseling in such areas. Do you guys also invite mothers sometimes?
We're planning something big for Women's Month, and now we're trying to tap into, spaces that are a bit
Okay.
a no-go. you know? But yeah, this is something that I also always discuss with even, because I have a whole lot of conversation with seniors, both male and female, and what I've gathered is that it's just too unfortunate that it's only the dysfunctions of men that are put on blast.
That's true.
And when we all need some sort of help with whatever it is that we go through, it's not just men that go through mental health or emotional,
Of course, yes,
dysfunctions, but we all do. So the sooner we understand and realize that we are all here to complement each other and not to compete or fight with each other, then we'll build a better society. Because there's this thing that I'm seeing now. It's like men and women are fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Sorry to just cut in there. It's the concept of learning. Earlier on, you mentioned that you're in the organization, my pops and I, you're in the organization because you want to teach and you want to learn. I think modern society doesn't allow us to learn. It allows us to portray what we know.
Yes.
And that's where the issue comes in, because obviously you can say everyone has mental issues. There isn't one person on earth, regardless of how rich you are, what your background is, there's definitely a mental issue related to it. If you are not willing to learn to change that mental issue, to change the direction of that mental issue, then that's where the problem will spiral from. Absent dad, abusive father, the concept of men are trash. We don't want to learn of these concepts. We always point down to say this is the problem, but there's a bigger problem. Men are trash because it's a violence thing. It's not that men are trash. Men are trash related to violence. We can't pinpoint and say you are trash because of ABC. It's just violence in general.
True facts.
Man. Yeah, the nature of that is actually violent. Yeah.
True facts. And I think the most important thing though is the unlearning. Because we've adopted so many things that we thought were correct. Now we get to our adulthood, we realize, oh man, I've been doing this all my life. So now how do I unlearn this thing? So the challenge is in the unlearning.
And also relearning, I think.
Yes.
It's really hard.
What are some of the things that you teach young men at the workshops that you have?
I mean, I like I said, I don't come from a point of knowing it all. But it's more about having a conversation.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean, if I'm speaking to a boy that's younger, the conversation is always around my own experiences. I think the best point of reference will always be my own experiences when I speak to them.
Which is very good.
Yeah, and try align it with whatever it is that they may be going through. But if it's something that's beyond me, I mean, we have a circle and a community where I can always refer.
Okay, cool. Brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just running out of time, but where can people go to find people who are interested, and where can they find you, and how can they join your organization?
Okay, so they can check our website. It's www.mypopsandi.org.za. And then we are on social media. It's My Pops and I on Facebook, and at My Pops and I on Instagram.